before we begin factoring expressions with leading coefficients greater than 1, we have to recall first how to factor these simple expressions. Let's start with number 1. Always remember that when the last term of your trinomial is positive, just like these two expressions, then it means that your factors have the same sign for the second term. And what is the sign of the second term? It will depend on the middle term. The sign of the middle term will tell you the sign of the second term of the binomial or the factors. Okay, since both of these signs are positive, then therefore they're both positive. Since the last term is positive and the middle term is negative, then that means they have the same sign but they're both negative. Okay, now what you're going to focus on are the first term. Since the only factors of x squared and x squared are just x and x, you will write x times x will give you x squared. X times x will also give you x squared. The numbers here should be a factor of 12. And when you add it, since this is plus, that means you will add these factors to get 7. We know that 12 has factors 6, 2, 4, 3, and 12, 1. Okay? But which of these factors will actually result 7? That is 4 and 3. Therefore, your factors are x plus 4 and x plus 3. You can also write as x plus 3 times x plus 4. Okay, they're commutative under multiplication. Now let's have number 2. Since we already know the sign, we only have to think about the numbers that we have to fill in here. I told you that the last term will tell you if they're the same sign or not. Okay, since this is positive, then they have the same sign. Now, think of factors of 15 that will give you 8 when you add it. The factors of 15 are just 15 and 1, 5 and 3, which means that 15 plus 1 will not give you 8, but 5 and 3 will give you 8. So therefore, the factors are 5 and 3. Now, if you're not sure with your factors, you can always use FOIL method for checking. For the next one, we know that the last term is negative. If the last term is negative, then automatically, your factors are of different signs. Now, why do I write positive first and negative first? I just follow the sign of the middle term. Okay, the middle term here is negative, so I start with negative. Okay, now you will only use this strategy if the leading coefficient is positive. Okay, so just make sure that the leading coefficient beside x squared or x squared is positive. Since the last term is negative, therefore they have different sign for the factors. So how do you find the numbers here? We know that x squared is equal to x times x. Now your only concern is what are the factors of 28 that will give you 3? Since this is negative, that means you have to subtract the factors. Okay, so we know that the factors of 28 are 4 and 7, 14 and 2. So with these two pairs of factors, we know that 4 and 7 will actually result 3 when you subtract them. But the question is, where should you put 7? Where should you put 4? Then go back to the middle term. The middle term will tell you which one should be the sign of the biggest factor. Since the middle term is positive, then therefore 7 should be positive and 4 here. So that 7x minus 4x will give you positive 3x. Okay? For the last one, we have the last term is negative, therefore they have different signs. Now I just put negative and positive since the middle term is negative. For the factors of 42, we have a lot of factors of 42. We have 42 and 1, 21 and 2, 6 and 7. Now, looking at these factors, which of these factors will actually result 1 when you subtract them? 21 minus 2 is 19. 42 minus 1 is 41. 7 minus 6 is 1. So definitely, these two factors or these two numbers here are the numbers we're looking for the factors of 42. But which one should be negative? Which one should be positive? Let's put x here first. Now we all know that the middle term is negative, which means that the bigger number should be negative. And the bigger number is 7, so that will be 7 and 6. So that's how you factor simple trinomials.